Alright, y'all. Welcome to another edition of Sandwich Vision Art and Life. My name is Adewale Bukele Jr. Please review us, rate us, give us a 5-star, don't be a hater. Today, we're going to talk about filling the void. I'm going to talk about animation, comics, but specifically talk about African Americans and not being a part of it since the beginning or inception. I guess in American culture anyway. I want to talk about the void that needs to be filled because it's still a void. There's a lot of us African American artists out there, but we're still not filling the void because that's what exactly it feels like. It feels like a void. So before we go to the details of today's show, let's pay some of these bills. This podcast is brought to you by A4 Capital Consulting, growing good business anywhere and everywhere. Let A4 Capital Consulting take your business to the next level. That's A4CapitalConsulting.com for details, y'all. That's A4CapitalConsulting.com. And this podcast is also brought to you by Anadel Foot and Ankle. Don't live with foot pain. Let Anadel Foot and Ankle make your feet happy again. That's AnadelCenter.com for details, y'all. That's AnadelCenter.com for details. And as I said before, A4CapitalConsulting.com. Their website has been revamped. It looks fantastic. It looks awesome. They got some serious stuff going on there. So y'all check that out. So onto the show, y'all. So as I stated before today, I want to talk about the void, right? Which is what led to the creation of Karjakz for myself specifically, because I felt like it was a giant void. I might as well go fill it. And even with one person, it takes more than one artist to fill that void because there's so many talented individuals out there, specifically the African American culture. A lot of us aren't doing or aren't seeing the opportunities or creating the opportunities, because sometimes opportunities you have to create them for yourself. So the things I want to talk about today: the past, the present, the future, obstacles, and opportunities for African American art animation to come to the forefront and not be something that's of no longer void. Karjakz Vs Assassins, right? I'm always talking about my characters. Book 1, version 1 of the characters, 2, 3, 4, and of course version 5, and of course version 6 of course is coming because the big book is coming. You know what I mean? One of the things that I want to talk about, starting off with the past. In the past, we just straight up was not in the show. African Americans weren't put in the show. They weren't there. Even if they were there, they were in the back seat, in the back scene, not to be seen, not to be heard, not heroes. Usually if you were a hero, first you were a criminal and then you were a hero. That's one thing that's always irked me a lot. I can't stand the fact that to be heroes, you have to be criminalized first. Like, I like Luke Cage, but one thing I hated about Luke Cage show, aside from them using the N-word frequently, was that he had to be a criminal before he was a hero. Okay, I understand he was a sheriff. Then they did some experiments on him. But why couldn't he just leave it there? They had to criminalize him. He had to go to jail. Why did he have to go to jail? Why couldn't he just be a hero? He was a sheriff, a cop, gets experimented on, gets these powers, and decides, you know what? I'm gonna do something good with my powers and do something for the city that I defend. You know, that's the problem. Filling the void. The past, we were never there, and even if we weren't there, it wasn't in a positive light. It was in a negative light. We were the criminals. Even back in the day, man, they used to draw us like monkeys, man. I mean, if you look at some of the old school comics from some of these big companies, whether it's DC or Marvel, man, them things look atrocious. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it led to I call it my mental revolution, because growing up, I loved, of course, X-Men, Avengers, Fantastic Four, Iron Man, Spider-Man, Voltron, Ronin Warriors, Gundam Wing. What's the common theme in all those things? They're all Eurocentric. Of course, you had Iron Man, the season 1 and 2, they had War Machine, but War Machine's always like a sidekick. It always felt like his armor was second tier to Iron Man's armor. Of course, I understand Iron Man's the inventor, but still, man, this dude is supposed to be a colonel. And even back then, he wasn't even a colonel. They made him like a ward, like a ward, not even a colonel. I mean, it was just really embarrassing, man. And I think culture, pop culture was like, we need to grow up. And they did. You know what I'm saying? It's ridiculous. So, you know, the past was not, man, it was just not what it should be. It's just horrendous. You mean, it doesn't matter what cartoon it was. We were just, even Defenders of the Earth, it must have like that. If you read because I have the DVD collection, and if you read it, it says, Lothar was Mandrake's bodyguard. Now, anybody who ever watched Defenders of the Earth knows it was Flash Gordon, the Phantom, Mandrake, and Lothar, and all of them had their kids. And bodyguard, this man's an engineer. How is the only thing that he can accomplish is being somebody's bodyguard? You know what I'm saying? So those are some things in the past were just horrendous. It was disgraceful. It just led to, and when I got older, I just like, what? I'm not going to complain about this. I'm going to do something about it. And that's what led to the birth of Karjakz Vs Assassins. I mean, even when I draw, like I'm going to show you all something, right? If we're looking at my characters, just specifically my characters, right? Because I'm going to show you other stuff. Karjakz Vs Assassins, right? the way I drew it, even the way we were drawn was unacceptable. And I just don't have the heart to show you some of the drawings, man. I can't do it. It's just too bad. But this is what I felt like I needed to do to transcend what was being shown and show this right here. You see the drawing style, you see the technique. This is greater, if not higher, equal to, if not greater than what's already been drawn. Some of the stuff you see now, the way it's Avengers, Iron Man, Fantastic Four, Spider-Man, Wolverine, you name it. You know what I mean? It's just what it is. I mean, look at this. These are amazing drawings. So, you know, I mean, even if I go to, let's say, look at even the t-shirt I'm wearing, right? You see Blade, you see the way it's drawn. These kind of things weren't happening before. You know what I'm saying? It was really stereotypical. I mean, let's look at this. I'm going to be specific here. Look at Blade, right? You see that? You know, let's show you another superhero, Black Panther. You know what I mean? I just conditioned myself to, you know what? I'm going to draw African Americans looking right. Look at Green Lantern, John Stewart, the greatest Green Lantern of all time. You know what I mean? War Machine. You know what I mean? And even our ladies, man. You know, we got Wonder Woman. You know what I mean? So I felt like there was a hole, and as long as there was that hole, I was gonna have something to do. And it got past to the point where I started to realize Karjakz Vs Assassins is for me, but it's more than just for me. It's an idea, a concept of image correction. That's really what it was about. So now let's talk about the current present, right? Things are not as great as they should be. They could be 100 billion times better. And specifically, I'm talking about like movies, animation. There's not one African American animation right now. Not one. It had Black Panther for a while, which was the 6th season of Avengers Assemble. And before that, it was Blade, the animated series, which was 1 season. There's not enough of a conscious job by these big wigs, whether it's DC or Marvel. They're not doing anything. And so to me, it's incumbent upon individual artists like myself to create something people can look at. You know, that's one of the things why I'm striving for with the Karjakz Vs Assassins universe. I am not going to go beg anybody to let me create this greatness. No, this greatness is going to get created. Karjakz Vs Assassins is a great universe, and I'm going to take it to the greatest greatness it can reach. You know what I mean? You know, you have so many opportunities, man. I mean, the current president, you have movies. I mean, of course, you got Black Panther, was the last superhero movie. But before that was Blade. 2004 was the last time another superhero movie got made. This is ridiculous. And between that time, you've had X-Men, you've had Avengers, you've had Fantastic Four, you've had Spider-Man, you even got Morbius coming out, you got Batman coming out again, you got Wonder Woman coming out. When's a Storm movie gonna come out? When's a Vixen movie gonna come out? When's a Black Lightning movie gonna come out? When's a Green Lantern John Stewart movie gonna come out? What is DC and Marvel waiting for? So it's incumbent upon us African American artists to do it ourselves. Quit looking for somebody to give you an opportunity to do it yourself. We've got iPhone 12, iPhone 13. Yo, you got a camera, man. You could literally create your own cartoon. It's just, all it is frames, man. You know, don't sit there waiting for nobody. Like for me, once the book is done, it's on to the next step, man. My dream is an animation series, period. There's nothing going to stop that. I have manifested that. I've written that into the Universal books, and it's going to happen. You know, I'm not going to wait on anybody to let me have these guys, put them on an animation series, to let them become one of the greatest comic books ever read. You know, this is just the Bible book, which is available on sciencefiction.com. You know what I'm saying? Or sciencefictionshop.com. Depends on which one you remember. You know what I'm saying? These awesome characters. I mean, these characters, something like you've never seen before. The Karjakz right there. Cajun, Escalade, Glocks, Rasputin there, Diesel. You know what I'm saying? Shepherd. You know what I'm saying? Sincere. You know, it's just the Assassins. There's a hole, man. It's such a big hole. And I can't understand why these companies don't realize that you're missing out opportunities. But also, too, there's also a problem there, too. These companies don't want to change their mentalities. They don't want to adjust to the current times. They don't want to do something new. It's the same washed up cycle. You know, I always make fun of DC. They're like the old guard. They just don't want to leave what sells. They want to shove Al Jordan Green Lantern down your throat when we know Green Lantern John Stewart is the favorite. They want to shove Batman repeat on the repeated cycle. You know what I'm saying? Okay, they did Justice League. I don't care about Cyborg. Why would you give us Cyborg? Give us Green Lantern John Stewart. Has anybody ever watched the animated series from the 2006 Justice League? Why would you not take those 7 characters specifically? Martian Manhunter, Green Lantern John Stewart, Flash, Batman, Wonder Woman, Superman, Hawkgirl. You know how great of a movie that would have been? But it's typical of DC to always mess everything up. We as fans, specifically of American culture, we ain't trying to see no damn Cyborg. Give me Green Lantern John Stewart. Because let's be real about something. As far as I'm concerned, to me the greatest DC superhero in terms of African American allure is Green Lantern John Stewart. Can't nobody touch him. Not Black Lightning, not Mr. Terrific, not Vixen, not whoever you're gonna name. You know what I'm saying? So the present has opportunities. The question is, how are these companies gonna build a future? And also too, how are we as African American artists are we gonna build a future, right? Because as I stated before, I'm not begging nobody to let me do. Sonic Vision is going to put out Karjakz Vs Assassins in any way and every way that I want. Whether it's the whole characters, all the characters in Karjakz Vs universe, or all the characters in the Karjakz Vs Assassins universe, or individual characters. I don't need anybody's approval to do what I'm doing with my characters. I just wake up and go. You know what I'm saying? That's why I've come this far. That's why the first official comic book for the Karjakz Vs Assassins universe is about to be ready. It's going to be done, yo. It's just getting corrected. You know, there are so many opportunities. Question is this. What are you going to do? So now we're going to the future, right? Right now, I guess there's supposed to be a Blade movie coming out next year. Okay, you got Blade coming out, but what's next after that? You know, there's still Black Panther there. Rest in peace, Chadwick Boseman, who did an unbelievable, spectacular job. It's going to be, I feel sorry for whoever's got to play Black Panther next. You got Black Lightning right there, the TV show that I used to watch 4 great seasons on CW. To me personally, I think it was canceled prematurely. I really think it was just another shot at African Americans to say, you know what, you've got something successful. Let's take it off of TV. Because Black Lightning to me was an incredible show. And this is the kind of hero I'm talking about. Black Lightning was not only a hero during the day, but he was a hero at night. He was a principal during the day, and he was a hero at night. Unlike Luke Cage, he was a criminal. And then to top it off, the show just constantly had the N-word flowing. And I don't care for the N-word. It's not my cup of tea. You know what I'm saying? I'm one African American that don't play that. I don't use the N-word, don't care for it, don't want to be spoken to about it. You can't use it, can't nobody use it. You know what I'm saying? I just felt like Luke Cage, them using that was like inexcusable. And they're gonna hide behind culture. I don't want to hear about culture. You know what I'm saying? It's just an offensive word, man. You know what I'm saying? The character in itself is kind of offensive to me because the way you portrayed him. They could have said this guy is a sheriff. He gets experimented on, and he becomes a superhero. It's just that simple. There's no need to constantly criminalize us. So in the future, you know what I'd love to see? Storm, Blade, Black Lightning. Stop giving us one hero at a time. Fans out there that are not even African American want to see it. I know plenty of people that aren't African American that want to see John Stewart, Green Lantern. I know plenty of people that want to see with Black Lightning animation series. I know plenty of people want to see Static Shock. You know what I'm saying? Static Shock is the only one I can think of. And that's a long time ago. That's 2004, man. That's a long time ago. You know what I'm saying? So what are we going to do? You know, I'm even trying to look into my book right here. You know, and then there was Spawn, right, on HBO. But one thing I hated about Spawn was they used all kinds of language that I'm just like, are you serious? If this wasn't an African American, Steel, that's another superhero. If this wasn't an African American show, would you be using such language? It's just ridiculous. Of course, you know how to do the Afro Superman. You know what I'm saying? It's just ridiculous. You know, things have to change, man. You know, and for it to change, see what else I got here. Let's go back. You got Storm. You know what I'm saying? Part of the X-Men right there. You know what I mean? Aqualad, now officially Aquaman. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's just one thing after the other. You know, before I go into the future part, as I was stating about the future can't be different from the present or the past if nobody takes an opportunity and a chance. And that lie about, it doesn't sell, that's BS. Because Black Panther, as far as movies concerned, 1.4 billion. That's better than Iron Man, better than Captain America, better than Thor, better than Hulk, better than Captain Marvel, better than Black Widow. Those are all Eurocentric characters. Better than the Justice League, better than Superman, better than Batman. So there's no excuses. Give the people what they want. Not only African Americans, but everybody else. Because one of the reasons why Black Panther did so well in movie theaters, people were tired of looking at Eurocentric white guys. Give us something different. That's why it's called Filling the Void, because it's a giant chasm. And that chasm can be filled with so many characters. I mean, even looking at my banner behind me, right? I'm always diverse. You see the Karjakz Vs Assassins characters on top, right? But then you see Black Panther, you see Wonder Woman, you see Storm, you see War Machine. You know what I'm saying? So even the t-shirt I got on, that's why I'm wearing this specific t-shirt, Filling the Void. Blade, to me, is one of the most known characters as far as Afrocentric characters, but he hasn't gotten enough time on TV. It's like you bring him in, you take him out. You bring him in, you take him out. Like we had him, last movie was 2004. They have a TV series with Sticky Fingers, which I thought was totally awesome. I have no idea why the hell it got canceled, but that show was so sick. If you've never watched it, Sticky Fingers, playing Blade, check it out. It's one season. You might be able to find it on SpikeTV.com or Amazon.com or Hulu or wherever, man. Just Google that thing or YouTube it. I promise you, you will not be disappointed. And then ever since that, we had the Blade animated series in 2012, and now we're getting a movie in 2023. Come on, man. That's like a 12, 15-year gap. You got to do better than that, man. It's incumbent on these companies to be responsible. Not only, and another thing, too, is a problem. Do you have an African-American talent on your teams, right? There's plenty of talented African-American artists. Now, I'm not going to work for you, but I'm sure there's African-American artists out there that do want to work for you guys, Marvel, DC. You guys can make the conscious effort to hire these talented individuals, put them in the room, and stop letting white guys write for them. Let an African-American man or African-American lady tell the story of these African-American awesome superheroes. Storm, Blade, Black Panther, Black Lightning, Vixen, Green Lantern, John Stewart, Mr. Terrific, Steel, Cyborg. Yes, I don't hate Cyborg, but I don't like the fact that he's been used as the main character in a Justice League movie when you have more powerful characters. It's just an attempt to always like subdue the African-American superhero-ness, if that's a word, you know? So, you know, the future can be better if companies choose to take on the things. Now, let's talk about obstacles, right? But before I get it, let me grab another poster book for y'all. Hold on a quick sec. Now, let's talk about obstacles. One of the things I think is an obstacle is the lack of talent pool. It's like the same problem that they got in the NFL, right? How are you going to get African-American head coaches when you don't have none of the offensive pipeline, right? Because that's where they're hiring the coaches at. Well, same thing with animation. How are you going to have any African-American animation, movies or anything like that, comics, if you don't have any in the pipeline, specifically these big companies, Marvel, DC, right? Okay, you gave us Black Panther, which was 2017, 2020. We're in the year going on the year 2023, man. We're in 2022 right now. Pretty soon it's going to be 2023. What are you delivering, right? You know what I'm saying? What are you giving people? I mean, there's so many options, so many choices. Don't lie to me and say there's no funding. There's funding. Allocate some of the money towards these kids. Because if Black Panther can do what it did in this movie, what do you think Blade's going to do? What do you think Green Lantern John Stewart's going to do? Black Lightning movie. You know how cool a Black Lightning movie would be? Man, that would be so sick. Or Storm. When is Storm going to get her due? You know what I'm saying? It's just, you need to stop cowering behind these excuses, because the real obstacle is not really the characters themselves. It's the people that created the characters. And when you have a bunch of white guys who are creating characters that's supposed to serve to other communities, it's not really going to be a priority. So it's incumbent upon artists, African-American artists specifically, for you to take it upon yourself, like I'm doing for myself, to create the Karjakz Vs Assassins universe like I did, and create characters that look like you. And if necessary, serve it to yourself. There's many outlets now. Make different connections to wherever you can make connections to. Maybe you're lucky you link up with Amazon. Maybe you're lucky you link up with Netflix. You know, don't depend on a company to get you forward. Depend on yourself to get you forward, right? Because your ideas have to be executed, right? You know, those obstacles, that if you want to call it obstacles. Now, as far as opportunities to me, yo, if you got all these awesome superheroes, that is such an amazing opportunity to do something, right? Let's take, for example, the Black Adam movie that's coming out next year with The Rock. That's an Afrocentric character right there. You know what I'm saying? And of course, The Rock is going to do an amazing job as long as DC doesn't get in the way. Get the hell out of that man way. You know what I'm saying? You got Black Lightning's there. Still don't understand why the show is canceled. You got Black Panther 2 whenever that comes out. You've got War Machine. Like, for example, War Machine could be in a TV series right now. You know what I'm saying? They could find something for him to do, man. You know, not just over there having relegated to being Iron Man psychic. Then you got Falcon, who's now officially Captain America, Sam Wilson. That's a movie right there. I mean, these are just opportunities, man. What are you going? Storm is an opportunity. Vixen is an opportunity. Blade is still an opportunity. Green Lantern John Stewart. Let me even look in here in my comic book, right? Look at these. The ladies of the Wakanda world. Dora Milaje. Let me see here. Vixen. I mean, dude, it's ridiculous. Black Lightning. I mean, come on, man. You know, it's ridiculous. Let me see what else I got in here. I'm trying to see what I can show y'all, man. The Killmonger, man, that's an opportunity. Killmonger could have his own movie, man. You know what I mean? It's just ridiculous. You need opportunities, man. And as long as Falcon, aka Captain America now, you know what I'm saying? You see it. All these posts are available on sciencevision.com or sciencevisionshop.com. You know what I'm saying? It's just ridiculous. These are all opportunities, man. Man, Static Shock, like I was telling y'all about. Look at that, y'all. You know what I mean? You gotta make these things happen, man. Nobody's gonna know these things exist if you don't show them to show. Look at this. Firestorm, right? Look at that. From the TV series with DC Legends. I'm trying to see what else I got in here, man. You know, it's just, there's so many opportunities, man. And I just feel like there's a, oh yeah, I drew that Shaka Zulu. If anybody wants that right there, you got to go on ScienceVision.com. You know what I mean? Even Brave Star, man. You know, that's Native American right there. There's so many opportunities, and people need to stop hiding behind. Well, back to that Captain America again. For those y'all who didn't see it, you know what I'm saying? Yep, I was inspired long before that Falcon and the Winter Soldier stuff came out. You know what I mean? So you know, I mean, it's just there. Those are opportunities, man. We should stop hiding behind, oh, there's not enough money. That's BS. There's enough money. Question is, where do you want to allocate those funds? And every time you don't do something that's not the norm, you're missing out on opportunity. Change comes when people take risks. That's just plain and simple. Change gonna come. I know I'm gonna take a risk. The Karjakz Vs Assassins is not even a risk anymore. I already know it's working and it's gonna be a great universe. It's plain and simple. I'm not here to tell anybody what they should do, but I do know one thing. I'm not gonna wait for you to fill the void. I fill the void my damn self. And to all these African American artists out there, the only thing I'll tell you is this: if you want things to change, then you're gonna have to change them. Draw what looks like you, and draw it in the best way possible so it can be presented in the best way possible, right? Because too often, as I say, one of the things that used to irk me was the way they looked. The drawings themselves used to piss me off. Like getting drawn looking like a monkey. No, that's unacceptable. With the coon drawings, the red lips. I mean, just, oh man, it's just, animation back then, comics were horrible. I mean, it was bad. It was even I remember playing Street Fighter, looking at DJ. When you see him in the fighting game, when he's about to fight, his lip is all dropped and stuff. Like, why is this man's lip all super big? And this is Sega making this. You know what I'm saying? So that's the irresponsible past that I'm talking about. And so there's so much opportunity to fill this void. So I felt like I needed to talk about this today. Filling the void. It's just such a giant chasm, y'all. I had to talk about it. And that's why this is important. Karjakz Vs Assassins. From this version to this version to this version. It's just too important of a situation where we can't fill the void. The void can be filled. And it's incumbent upon companies and artists to diversify in what they're showing. If you want to do it, I do it my damn self. I ain't worried about y'all because I'm not the type to go ask for permission to create something this great. I'm going to create it myself. You know what I mean? So, you know, y'all, that's what concludes the podcast today. You know what I'm saying? And let's not forget, we want to thank our sponsors. You know what I'm saying? This podcast is brought to you by A4 Capital Consulting, growing good business anywhere and everywhere. Let A4 Capital Consulting take your business to the next level. That's A4CapitalConsulting.com for details, y'all. That's A4CapitalConsulting.com for details. And this podcast is also brought to you by Anadel Foot and Ankle. Don't live with foot pain. Let Anadel Foot and Ankle make your feet happy again. That's AnadelCenter.com for details, y'all. That's AnadelCenter.com for details. And before I forget, I don't want to forget. Don't forget our new Batas 2s. I'm always talking about them all the time, all right? Go get your pair. You know what I'm saying? The Batas 2s. Low tops right here, the platinum label. We've also got a basic label. But the platinum label comes in white trim and black trim. And then, of course, can't forget our high tops. You know what I'm saying? Our awesome eye tops. Check them out. You know what I mean? They look sick. You got to get our awesome eye tops, y'all. The high tops are in. You know what I'm saying? I'm always showing y'all one side. Let me show you this side, right? So you see it. You know? It's pretty sick. So, and just in case if you're wondering, let's look at them as a whole. That's my baby. I wear them all the time, baby. Everybody's always giving me compliments. So, you know, high tops. And same thing goes for the platinum low tops. Check that out, y'all. Look at that side. I mean, it's pretty sick. So, you know, get your batas. Get your batas today on ScienceFictionJob.com. So, y'all, that concludes our show. I want to thank y'all for listening. This podcast is produced, written, and directed by yours truly, Adewale Abuke Jr. Please don't forget to check out our website at ScienceFictionShop.com or ScienceFiction.com. And please don't forget to subscribe to our podcast wherever you listen, whether it's Amazon, Deezer, Spotify, Apple. And you can also listen to our podcast, on ScienceFiction.com or ScienceFictionShop.com. Please check out our social media platforms at Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, all at Science Fiction. And please don't forget to review us, rate us, give us a 5-star, don't be a hater. And as always, y'all, continue to aspire and achieve. Have a great week. Stay safe. Peace.